Let's say we have x squared minus 5x plus 4. And I want that to be greater than 0. Okay? Why don't we graph this thing? But before we graph it, let's factor this out and then see where it's crossing x's. Alright, it's going to cross x at 1 and 4. So it's going to look like this. 1 and 4. And not only that, it's positive here, which means it's going to be concave up, right? Something like this. I know it's not an accurate graph. It's going to be like this, right? It's a parabola. And I am looking for points, x intervals that guarantees that y value is greater than 0. And once you graph it, it's really easy, right? Y is greater than 0 means anything above stays above x-axis, stays above x-axis. So we realize that, this has to be when x is less than 1 or greater than 4. So the answer is this, or x greater than 4. Good, so we got two intervals. So the whole point of doing this is they want you to find the zeros of the function. Because the zeros or roots tells you where to change form. Okay, something like this. Another form. Let's say, without the graph thing, without the function thing, let's say I have some cubic function that goes up like that, right? A, B, C. If I ask you to find, okay, here's my f of x, where does f of x lie below 0? Well, I am really looking for two intervals then. Over here and here, right? Anything below A will guarantee that it's minus. Anything in between B and C will guarantee that it's below x-axis, 0, right? What if I change it to this? Then you just need to add those points, right? This will give us x is less than or equal to A, or x has to be in between B and C, including those values. Then it will be 0 or minus, right? So that's something that you should keep in mind. They simply want to ask you the root, and then how do you use that? That's what they're really asking you. All right, let's do some exercise. 1 to 3, all of them are good questions, so let me just do them. And there's no notes to make here. It's really something common sense here. So number 1, which of the following is equivalent to 3x squared minus x less than 2. All right, let's bring it over and then make it into a quadratic form and then try to factor this out. What do you get if you factor it? 3x and plus 2, x minus 1. Let's see if this works. 2x gives you minus 3x. Yes, it is true. It works. Good. Then this means the roots of the regular function with equals to 0 is going to be minus 2/3 and 1, right? So let's graph this thing. We have minus 3 over 2 somewhere here and positive 1 over here, and we're going to go concave up because that's positive. So we're going to get something like this, right? And I am looking for points that gives me less than 0. So I'm looking for this interval and that interval, right? Here's minus 3 over 2, 2 over 3, and plus 1. So my answer is x has to be less than minus 2/3, or x has to be greater than 1. That's the answer. And the answer for us is E. Done. Moving on to second one. All right, second question, we have a higher power, so you might be thinking, how do I do this, right? All right, let's look at number 2. We have a we have a fifth power function. We have 3x cubed plus 2x squared minus 3 there. And we want to find the intervals where it gives you greater than 0. Use your calculator to graph this function, and you will end up with this. 1, 2, and 1, 2 there. We're going to get something like this. it should